Master Duel has been saved, y'all, from the Malice format. there's a forbidden limited list that we can look at. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I haven't seen this, because it was everywhere yesterday. So I am familiar with these. This is not a blind reaction, but I still want to talk about it real quickly, because of course you guys know I haven't been playing a whole lot of Master Duel recently on stream, simply because I just don't enjoy the game as much as I enjoy the TCG at the moment, and also Genesis format. So there are just other things that bring me more joy than Master Duel, but I'm always interested in seeing what's going on over there, because if they ever do turn things around and the format becomes good again, then I'm obviously happy to play again, because I do like Master Duel in its core. I just don't agree with some of their decisions and some of their philosophy. So let's talk about whether that has changed now. All right, cards to be unlimited. Raigeki from 2 to 3. Pretty much irrelevant. I guess it is irrelevant's not the right word. Relevant change for board breaker decks, which I guess there is Gem Knights and maybe some Tenpais still, which is also crazy that deck's still around somewhat, but it's not going to fundamentally change the issues of Master Duel. It's not going to make Master Duel like playable. And neither will Nightmare Throne from 2 to 3. I'm telling you one thing, if there's one thing that's not going to get me to start playing Master Duel again, it's buffing Yugioh. Who asked for that? Blue Eyes is fine though. Blue Eyes can this was a kind of crazy hit to begin with, I suppose. Sage to 2 was kind of weird, because Blue Eyes was always like, I mean, it was a good deck for a period of time before Malice came out. Like it was a strong deck. So fine. This is a reversion that I'm okay with. Sage from 2 to 3 is fair. Yeah, more Yubel, and yeah, cool. Yes, awesome. Thick. Yeah, no, that's not it. Pearly Delicious Memory from 1 to 3 is good. Didn't deserve to be at 1, I think. At least not for this long. Honestly, there was no unlimit they could have done that would have impacted the format. Like, what matters here is the hits. So let's take a look at the hits. Dormouse from 3 to 1. Bare minimum that needed to happen, of course. Probably should have released at 1. I'm gonna be honest with you. The nice thing here is that they did hit an ultra rare, so you can get your ultra rare crafting points back from this, which is nice. To be fair though, they really had no choice with Malice but to hit ultra rares, because they made them all ultra rares. So Dormouse from 3 to 1, sure. Gold Sarcophagus from 2 to 1 should have never gone to 2. And Malice in Underground from 3 to 1. This might look like a whole lot of good changes, which, don't get me wrong, these are necessary changes. These are necessary changes for Malice. So for now, this is nice, because this is a decent chunk of ultra rares that you can get back the crafting points for, and these are all necessary hits for Malice. However, this is it. There's only one more change on here, and that is Baguska from 3 to 0, which, once again, don't get me wrong, this is a good change. Baguska ban is a good change. Baguska is a very toxic card in Ryzeal, and so Baguska going from 3 to 0 is cool, especially because Baguska is not only a toxic card in Ryzeal, but it is also a relatively toxic card in general. So Baguska being at 0 is going to positively impact the health of the game in the long run as well. Like, even after Ryzeal is gone, other rank 4 strategies have no way to floodgate you with Baguska, which is good. So that is a good hit in general. The problem is that this is everything. And while all of these changes are good, this, in my opinion, this just cannot be it. I think there are times in Master Duel where it's okay to release a ban list with 4 changes, because let's be real here, this is 4 changes. Everything down here is basically irrelevant. I don't like Yubel, but the 3rd Throne, the 3rd Beast, and the 3rd Opening are not going to get people to really play Yubel, or for Yubel to actually be better than other decks. Like, it's whatever. I'm not happy about buffing Yubel, but I also don't think it's a problem for now. Realistically, this list has 4 changes on it. In a format where Ryzeal and Malice are dominating to a point where, like, literally, I think the only deck that's even competing with it in some way, shape, or form is Gem Knights. But it's I don't know, man. I like this for someone who hasn't played the TCG. One Dormouse, one Sarcophagus, one Underground might seem like a big deal, but in reality, Malice is functioning under those restrictions in both the TCG and OCG for a pretty long time now. Like, the TCG now has one Dormouse, and Malice is still doing okay. There were people playing Malice at YCS Lil and I think topping with it. The Dormouse is at 1 in the OCG. People are playing Malice over there, and it's fine. The problem is that Malice in Master Duel has Appaloosa, Link Decoder, and Splash Mage, all of which are banned in the TCG. And Malice, think about this. Malice is still performing in the TCG without those cards. And in Master Duel, there's still Decoder, there's still Splash Mage, there's still Appaloosa. So, you know, and that doesn't even get me started on how Max C is still legal in Master Duel, and how like every single ban list, that is a point of like that is another disappointment to me, how the card isn't being addressed. But like I'm kind of tired of that argument at this point. Like, you know, I refuse to be happy with the Master Duel format while Max C is a thing, especially in a format like the current one where Malice and Ryzeal are a thing. Both of those decks basically require your opponent to have Max C when they go first, otherwise they just win. No, this is not enough. Short and simple. No, it's not enough. It's not enough for Malice, it's not enough for Ryzeal, and it's also not enough for the general health of the game. You know, cards like Max C are a problem. Cards like Called By and Talons make going first way too toxic. Ryzeal without Baguska is healthier, but not healthy at all, because people are either going to Protoss you, people can still hand loop you with Ouroboros. 4-3 once we get freaking Eclipse Twin, which is still not out, but eventually it will be. So once Eclipse Twin is out, you can literally hand loop people 4-3 with Evil Swarm Ouroboros. You can do 4. How do you do the fourth one? How does Heraldic do 3 right now? Heraldic does Ouroboros, revives it with plugin, and how do you just play 2 Ouroboros? Because you can do that many rank 4s? Oh, they have a Heraldic that copies the effect. Oh, that's awesome. Anyways, yeah. As well as Artifact Mjolnir, which is a thing. I think that's what the Gem Knight decks are doing. So just in case you're wondering, like, oh, if Gem Knight is able to compete with Ryzeal and Malice, isn't that a good thing? Yeah, Gem Knight also locks people out of the game with Mjolnir. Look, this is not the worst Master Duel ban list ever, but I think if you put it into perspective, like if you put it in relation to how messed up the Master Duel format was, at least in my opinion, I think this is barely anything. Like, it's good changes, but it's just not even close to enough of them. Like, a Master Duel ban list that would satisfy me and would make the game, like, attractive for me again would have to consist of, like, at least 10 plus cards going onto the list. It's a better ban list than usual for Master Duel, but it's still pretty ass considering the state that the game is in right now. Which is sad. Yeah, like, this does not make me want to play Master Duel again in the slightest, unfortunately. And that's all I have for this. Of course, it's an interesting question now, like, is Malice still the best deck because the consistency is impacted a little bit? You know, you can now better hand trap the deck with fair hand traps sometimes, you know, because they don't always open Dormouse, Underground, Gold Sarcophagus. This is their best starter and some of their best extenders, yes, but the deck is still very consistent and probably still, you know, like whenever they draw one of those cards, which still in total they still have 3 of these, so they're still going to open them relatively consistently. And then they have a lot of other good starters. They have the Ignister cards, so yeah, Malice is probably still the best deck, but there's still some interesting developments. I'm still somewhat interested. I'm still gonna keep up with Master Duel on the side, basically. Like, I'm still gonna have like Challenger Cups and stuff to just follow what's going on a little bit. Maybe I'll do my dailies every once in a while, but this does not get me back into like creating content for Master Duel and really wanting to compete myself. Not at all. Not in the slightest. It needs more than that. Are we gonna have a new pack stream? So I like I said, I'm gonna keep up with what's happening in Master Duel, and if they release like an interesting deck, I'm probably gonna do a stream just to play that. Like, for example, if they release Mitsurugi, like, in the next pack. Yeah, I'm gonna log in and play a day of Mitsurugi and see what's going on with that deck, because I like that deck. So I'll just see how it's going over there. I'm probably not gonna play for a long time, because I'm probably gonna realize after a while, yeah, like my deck is fun, but what I'm playing against isn't. So I'll play it on release day and then probably log off again, and then realize I could also be playing Mitsurugi in the TCG, where I'm also playing against other cool decks, which is an option for me, right? So, but yeah, I'm gonna keep up with it. Like if a new pack releases and there's interesting stuff in it, I'm gonna check it out. But you know, that's basically all I'm willing to do at the moment. And I think it's I thought it was funny. I thought it was very funny because I've been fighting this fight for a long time. You know, I've been complaining about Master Duel here and there, and then eventually just decided it was best for me to focus on other things if this is not making me happy. But I thought it was funny since I've made that decision. I felt like there have been some other people who've kind of like realized the same thing. You know, like I feel like the frustration has been building up, and like the Master Duel format defenders are falling one after the other, slowly but surely. And with this ban list, we got someone who I thought we were never gonna get, which is Yugioh, one of the biggest defenders of Master Duel. Always, you know, Yugioh has always been fighting the fight for Master Duel. Like he even like he's always like, oh, I'm out here, I'm enjoying the format. I enjoy the Duelist Cup formats. It's actually so exciting. Like Yugioh has been like Master Duel's strongest soldier for a long time, because genuinely just, I believe, for the love of the game. Like I believe he's been defending Master Duel because he loved it so much, because of all the things that it's been giving to him. But yesterday we lost Master Duel's biggest defender with this Forbidden Limited list. So I thought that was I thought that was kind of funny. So he said, as Master Duel's biggest defender, I have to say this: fuck you, have a terrible day, eat shit. Not hitting Appaloosa is absolutely absurd. One of the worst decisions of all time. Where's Mjolnir? Card is literally an FTK enabler and it's a rare. What's the excuse there? Oh man. Yeah, no, even the people that are willing to put up with Max C, Called by the Grave, and 3 copies of Talents and stuff like that, crashed out over this Forbidden Limited list. I just don't think it was appropriate for the state that the game is in right now. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, this ban list in a world where Appaloosa and Max C are banned already, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's probably okay. It's probably okay. You know, like, it doesn't address every problem in the format, but like, you know, like, all right, sure. But like making decent hits while ignoring the biggest problems in the game is crazy. It is straight up crazy. The way I feel about the situation, essentially it's validating my decision from a couple of weeks ago to focus on TCG, simply because I found myself enjoying that a lot more than Master Duel, even though if you look at the numbers for my Twitch stream, for example, it is smaller now. It's still, and look, I'm not complaining because we're still a lot of people here. We have 1,400 people watching right now, so I'm happy and grateful for that. But it's smaller than before. With Master Duel, I used to hit like consistent like 2,000. But I'm just having a better time, you know. Like I enjoy myself more, and that sometimes is what matters more. So I was scared of making that decision, but I just like what I'm doing more now than what I did before, and so that is essentially how I feel. And I am glad to see that other people are starting to feel the same way about Master Duel, because like I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels like this. You know, it feels good that like there's other people out there who used to defend Master Duel a lot, who are slowly starting to realize that, hey, the way this game is being handled is not optimal. Let's say it like that. You know, let's say my idea of what good Yu-Gi-Oh is, I'm not alone with that. You know, like I'm not alone with how I feel about, at least on the competitive perspective. You know, like I think Master Duel is completely fine on any sort of casual level. Like if you decide to just play Master Duel, play your pet deck in one of the lower ranks, it's no problem whatsoever. You're not gonna face as much malice, or like if you're not trying to optimize for competitive, like it's probably okay, but from actual like high quality Yu-Gi-Oh competitive perspective, the format is just worse than it could be for sure, and worse than the TCG, most importantly, which I think is sad because the TCG it's awesome, but it also has Master Duel had a lot of advantages over the TCG. You know, affordability. You don't have to travel. You don't have to pay for travel. The cards are cheaper. The game is legitimately relatively free to play friendly and all that. So like it's a shame that I can't enjoy that format. I would love to. I would love to play Master Duel more because I think the client itself is awesome. The game itself is awesome. The potential is there. The whole Challenger Cup system is awesome. If only the format wasn't mishandled like this. But I feel like I'm repeating myself at this point. You know how I'm feeling. You get what I'm saying.